two-headed monster, as it became known back in the late 2000s, was initially created by Dan Bilesman. And it was not a very good idea, and it never went anywhere. And I thought there was a reason for that. Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Penguins. It comes your way bright and early every weekday if you're into football and or baseball. I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Pirates that I hope you'll take the time to check out. Penguins versus Islanders tonight, 7:38 p.m. face-off in Elmont, New York. And when that puck drops, the starting line for the visitors almost certainly will continue to be Sidney Crosby at center, Evgeny Malkin at left wing, Rickard Rakell at right wing. Now, as part of the early, I guess you could call it the initial generation of hockey video games, I can attest personally that one really, really fun thing to do and effective is to just take three really good forwards and jam them all on the same line. Chemistry doesn't matter. They're all using the same brain. They just rely on their skill from there. You get the benefits of all that speed and the shooting accuracy and all that other good stuff. Well, life is not a video game, except in this sense, because that's how these guys look right now. It's been 3 games, meaning that 2-1 homestand. But what we've seen from Sid, Gino, and Rakell is just relentless offense. They've been responsible enough defensively, but where they've really made an impact, a visible, tangible impact, is through the neutral zone and into the attacking zone. I've been floored by how seamless they've been, specifically between the blue lines, the speed with which they're attacking, the fluidity, the tracking back to get the puck to spring other guys. All 3 of them have seemingly taken turns doing that, but Rakell more than anyone. And then once they get into the zone, and this is a part I'm sorry, I didn't see this coming at all. There's been a sustained cycle. If you look at Sid's, I think this was his first goal the other night against Montreal. Puck goes in deep. Gino pressures Mike Matheson. Matheson, who's never been all that responsible defensively, as you know, just kind of lets the puck slide lazily up the left boards. Rakell rushes over to get it, whips it across to Sid. Sid sizes up the net, beats Sam Montembeault to the far post. And while that's not a cycle, it's a forecheck that's based on making sure that you're cutting off the boards, which is not terribly different. It just happens to result in something quicker. They've been getting a lot of this done. There's numbers to back this up. Shot attempts, which is pretty much all the data that's available to people like me and you, meaning not coaches and inside the team analytics. Shot attempts. Sid, when he wasn't playing with Gino or Rakell, was out on the rink, this is at 5-on-5, for only 45.95% of the total shot attempts taken between 2 teams. With these guys, that figure leaps to 62.7%. From 45.9 to 62.7. The ice literally, well, maybe not literally, the ice figuratively tilted with this move. This episode is brought to you by Bet Online, your number one source for all your summer sports needs this season, from Major League Baseball, golf, NHL, NBA playoffs. Get the latest odds and lines, including all team matchups, player props, odds on just about everything that's out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Bet Online, where the game starts. Now, what all went into that and everything, that's not the kind of peeling back of the curtain that Mike Sullivan would ever do. Was this his call? Was this something that someone else on the staff thought of? Was it something that came from, Kyle Dubas or the Penguins' own analytics people? Who knows? but it feels like it came from nowhere because there'd been no usage for the two-headed monster under Sullivan other than having them go out after a penalty kill. You'd see Sid and Gino be two of the first three forwards on the rink because they had just been sitting on the bench for 2 minutes. You want to keep them moving, put them out there together. Great. But going back to training camp even, there'd been a little extra monster usage by Sullivan. So I'm inclined to believe that this has partly been in the works because of what it could be, but it's also partly been in the works because, and I'm going to take you back several months to something I reported exclusively over the summer, I think they want Gino on the wing. I think they've wanted Gino on the wing for some time. And I think this is one whale of a way to get that done without, insulting anybody, knocking anybody down, chipping away at their pride, making them think they're near the end or whatever. This is just saying, hey, listen, when Mario Lemieux came back, he wasn't a center anymore. He was a left wing. It's nuts to think about Mario at any position other than center, but that's how he finished when he came back. Why? They didn't want him taking all the draws. They didn't want him coming all the way back into the defensive zone. They had Jan Hrdina for that. So they put Mario on the left wing, Hrdina in the middle, and Jaromir Jagr on the right. So you had two epic talents out there at the same time, and you had someone else kind of just taking care of business. Well, this isn't that. Raquel has more skill, more size, more everything really than Hrdina did in his day. But it's working. It's working. Who's going to knock it? Who's going to knock what's actually happening? When we come back, J1Q. Today's J1Q comes from Cody, who says, DK, I respect your opinion on the Penguins defensemen being the problem, the main problem, and not Mike Sullivan. But calling the opposing take lazy, I see as being ironic. Because you want to know what's ironic? Saying that Ryan Graves isn't an NHL caliber defenseman. No, he was not good last year. But if you've watched any of this current season, you would know he has been playing good hockey. Sticking to old takes that are no longer relevant is the ultimate form of laziness. Cody, I love you. I love your regular and voluminous and thoughtful feedback. You also know that I do kind of watch the games, most of them in person. And you also know that I don't just rely on my own eyeballs to achieve a stance. I'll ask others what they see. I'll ask coaches what they see. I'll ask the players themselves what they feel when they're out on the rink, how they feel they're doing. You'd be surprised at how many of them will be really, really honest about that. So all that out of the way, I've got two responses for you. One is that when I said, and I did say, both on this program and in writing in a column, that Graves is not an NHL caliber defenseman, that he's one of three currently on the roster, although I did say parenthetically that Jack St. Ivany is in that category only because he's not experienced. I was reacting in a lump sum to a single game. I am aware not only of Graves' tangible improvement, but also that extends into his advanced analytics. He has been better, notably at shot suppression. He's gotten the puck out of the zone. It's been a little clumsy and choppy at times, but he's done it. And he's even looked occasionally comfortable in the offensive zone for the first time since he was in Denver. So on that front right there, you've got me. I'm wrong. I'm wrong to have said that. I'm wrong to have written that. Even if it might have been true for a single game, that's not the way a responsible opinion is delivered. So now, please take that, take your right hand and just move it right off the desk. Just sweep it right off, because I have a second thing to say that's going to sound related. That's going to sound like a defense of that, and it's not. I was wrong. I'm saying it a third time. I want to see the player that the Avalanche had, and that player's still not here. If you go back and watch his time with Colorado, and I've done that, there was so much more fluidity to his game. In all three zones, actually. He was even fine with joining the rush, and doing that with the Avalanche is no small feat. But he also didn't have restrictions placed on him. And what's happened, and this is not something that I'm guessing at, this has been told to me by a coach, what's helped Graves with his shot suppression numbers is that he's been told to basically stand in the middle of the rink. Not in so many words, but if you think about the other night, the game against Anaheim, where he strayed from the front and went behind to chase Trevor Zegras, that looks like the right play when you see it live or even heck on a replay. It looks like, oh yeah, Zegras went back there. Of course you want someone there. Well, not in the Penguins system. And again, I was able to confirm this. They don't want him going back there. He goes back there. Zegras feeds it out front to the guy that got abandoned, and boom, there goes a goal. And that goes double for Graves. They really do not want him straying. This is a long-standing principle of Sullivan and his staff. They'll take guys that they see as not being great defensively, but who have other skills and attributes that'll help the team, and they just tell them. They did this with Mike Matheson, who I'm now bringing up for the second time in this program. They just told him, listen, just stand there. We know you can chase everybody. We know you're super fast. Just don't. In the defensive zone, don't. Save your energy for the offense. And for the most part, he did that. They're trying that with Graves now. And while I get that will advance the cause of keeping him from being a liability, man, I'm still way more interested in whatever version the Avs had, and how to bring that out of this kid who's still not old, you know? You can still do that. I legitimately appreciate I appreciate everybody who listens to Daily Shot of Penguins, and we're going to do another one of these tomorrow.